Hey guys, Anna Random here and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today is a bit of an update video. As I've said in the preface to this, if you haven't watched my video about the big video about my mental health, I would definitely recommend that you watch that before this one, because it gives some sort of essential context really to what I'm going to talk about. So yeah, let's just get on with it. This isn't going to be very edited. If you watch my mental health video, you know that a lot of the speaking bits aren't that edited, and this is a theme that I want to continue throughout me talking about my mental health. So this is kind of a follow-on, if you will, from that last video. So I finished that video in July, and since then I improved an awful lot. That video, the clips from that video were filmed over a period of time where I'd hit a rock bottom, really. I was really struggling every day, and like I said, since that video, since I posted that, and in the lead up to coming back to university, I got miles better. I could see I was starting to make plans for the future. I was starting to get my motivation back. I was starting to feel just in general, but I was starting to feel my personality come through and really come into fruition, and be on display a lot of the time, which was exciting for me because it was like finally I can show my true self, and feel confident in that, and it just is natural and doesn't feel forced, which for me was a huge milestone. And towards the end of August, my main goal was to get back to university because I was still at home. Obviously I'd been there for like 6 months straight, with not a lot to do, obviously being in lockdown, and it was starting to be the main contributing factor to the negativity that was going on in my head and my mental health struggle. So in my head I thought, okay, when I go back to university I'll have stuff to do, and essentially I thought that it would be sort of a miracle cure, if you will, to kickstart my life again, kind of after lockdown, and kickstart my good mental health streak, to sort of maintain that consistently. I mainly wanted to make this video to say that that was not the case, and the fact that I'm sitting down to make this infers that not only was it not the case, but it was quite the opposite. Although I can say wholeheartedly that I am very lucky in that the University of Bolton have been very, very, very organised when it comes to keeping everything COVID safe, and we haven't had a lot of cases, and everything is COVID secure, the campus is COVID secure, and I'm getting a lot more contact hours on campus than a lot of my friends who go to other universities. So in fact, just all my friends who go to other universities are getting less contact time than I am, so that's something that I feel very privileged, and lucky to get. And I feel sorry for people who go to other universities where their institutions haven't exactly stepped up to the plate, and have been promising their students kind of the same standard of teaching when that's in reality not what's being delivered. And I can't imagine how heartbreaking that is to basically feel like your £9,000 a year is wasted, because you're not getting what you're paying for, you're not getting your value for money. in terms of your course and the teaching you're getting. So, you know, I just want to say outright that I'm so sorry to everyone watching this video who is experiencing that kind of thing, because that is completely unfair to you. And universities have had time to prepare, and some of them just haven't utilised that time efficiently. But going back to my mental health, taking today as an example, you know, it's kind of ironic that when last time I was wearing like this outfit, this top, was when I moved back to university in September, late September, like the middle of September. And I made that video saying like, I've moved back to uni, I was sat on my bed, which by the way, I'm in the process of making. I've just washed bedding and stuff, so that's why it's like this. But last time I was sat on that bed and talking to the camera, and you might have been able to tell, but I was feeling a lot more confident that was a good day in my mental health, because like I said, when I was at home towards the end of like August and whatever, I was doing so much better, and I can see that when I watch that video back, and I don't know if people noticed, for those of you who consistently watch my videos, but today is quite the opposite to that. I have a lot of work to do today, and therefore it needed to be productive. It needed to be a productive day. However, I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety and therefore depersonalization, because for those of you who know, anxiety triggers depersonalization, which, you know, is just the cycle that I managed to get under control when I was still at home, but for some reason now I've moved back here is come back with a vengeance, which is not fun. So at the moment I'm trying to tackle my anxiety levels to try and prevent the depersonalization from kicking in, but as it was when I made my first mental health video, that is much easier said than done, and I am really struggling, especially today. Today's just been horrible. I, at the moment, when it comes to my uni work and my course and everything, my brain is so drained of motivation that it literally is just like, what's the point? I've lost an awful lot of passion for my course and motivation for just life in general, and I've lost all my sense of ambition and determination and urgency. Like that vlog that I made in like May, I think, where it was like the unproductive day one, like the short one. I'll leave it in the cards, but and the one of the clips from there I actually did and end up using it in my mental health video. It's the one where I'm like, usually I'd be fine, I'd be like, you know, having that sense of urgency and be doing my work, just getting on with it. But because of my bad mental health, it makes it so much harder, because you're battling through your own brain's kind of constant drainage of emotion and motivation and determination and sense of purpose, just at all. So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I think it's important for me to make these mental health videos a series and to not just make it a one-off thing, which is why the thumbnail for this video would have been very different to my mental health video, because I do want to make like a series out of this and make sure that I'm updating you guys about what's going on, how I'm feeling, being completely transparent, because I think that's very, very important. Not only, you know, just in general about to just be like, hey, it's okay to talk about mental health if you're not doing okay, but especially for me, because I have depersonalization, and like I said in my mental health video, I don't think that's a disorder that's very widely talked about. I mean, I could just talk about my social anxiety and perhaps it would get more views, but I don't want to do that, because that's not, although at the moment that is something that I am struggling with, which is odd because I haven't really struggled with that an awful lot in a while. It has mainly just been my depersonalization, but for some reason recently it's like both my but for some reason recently both my depersonalization and my social anxiety have just been like, hi, let's cause chaos, make your life a misery. So that's something that's just on top of everything else, which again, just to reiterate, is not fun in the slightest. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try and do weekly uploads on this channel. I don't know how well that's going to go, considering my last video that I uploaded, considering last week's video was 2 weeks late. So I don't know how well. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't surprised. It's me. When it comes to consistency with my upload schedule and on YouTube, I don't have the greatest track record at all. The most I've been able to stick to is like once a month, and even that only lasted about 4 months before I had a gap, you know. So yeah, like I said, I want to make this a series just to update you guys as to how I'm feeling, because like I said, I think it's important. But I'm gonna go get back to trying to be productive, battling through this wall of demotivation and depersonalization caused by the depersonalization, you know. But yeah, so just wanted to say, sometimes what you think is going to cure your mental health struggles doesn't always, and that's okay, because you learn new ways to cope and you learn new strategies in order to fight it and hopefully overcome it. So yeah, I'm gonna go now, and like I say, try and be productive, try and fight through whatever's going on in my head. But yeah, so next week's video will hopefully be a little bit more positive. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.
I made a promise to myself. I'll never let you lure me to the lions. Then again, you broke my heart open.